a very rainy Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign. I'm Lisa Prati with the IHSA Network. Very happy to bring you the 5A state championship game between the defending state champs, Mount Carmel, against Providence Catholic. Yesterday we crowned 3 state champions. This morning we added another one in 4A. Joliet Catholic defeated Metamora by the score of 27-14 to become the only team in Illinois state history to hold 9 titles. And Mount Carmel is hoping to tie them this afternoon. Mount Carmel coming in with 8 titles. Now Providence Catholic has 5 titles to their record. The last time that they were downstate was 27-14. They went downstate against Metamora in 1997. So there is a lot of action taking place here. And of course, I'm going to be sending it up to our announcers, Lee Hall and Jim Covert, to add more on tonight's game. Gentlemen?
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. As she mentions, Jim, these teams are no stranger to the state finals. They're no strangers to each other coming out of that same conference, the Chicago Catholic Metro Blue.
Well, that's right, Lee. We have 2 storied football programs here in Illinois. Providence and Mount Carmel. It doesn't get much better than this as far as matchups are concerned. I think if you talk to both Matt Seffner, and look, they're really close location-wise. It's just a short bus ride, and they had to come down here further to play than they do each other. But I think both these teams are really going to go at it. The coaches would be excited because even though their teams have been here year in and year out, this is a new group of young men who are playing in this game.
These 2 teams played each other earlier in the year, and it was Mount Carmel coming out victorious 21-18 in overtime. So there's a little bit of revenge factor coming. Here's how they got here in the playoffs. Well,
they both have had tough roads to go. Here's the road for Providence, and they've been very decisive up until that last game with Rockford Boylan, 19-8, a real battle, and that helps them prepare for this ball game with Carmel. On the other side of the coin, Mount Carmel, I know, has had fairly easy going and has showed a lot of improvement in their playoff scores as they went along. One of the measuring sticks would be their game with St. Rita. They only beat Rita by 4 points early in the season, and I happened to see that film of the Rita game, and both teams played excellently, and Carmel looked very strong.
And their semifinal win over Chicago Hubbard last week, a big win for Mount Carmel. Now let's go to PA announcer Jeff Fritzen for the announcement of today's starting lineups.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for the Class 5A State Championship. First for Mount Carmel, head coach Frank Lenti. Defensive starters for the Caravan, linebacker number 38, Bob Zakar. Tackle number 88, Wally Hess. Nose guard number 37, Brian Murray. Tackle number 66, Justin Carrillo. Linebacker number 44, Tom Treadway. Linebacker number 40, Niall Campbell. Linebacker number 51, Joe Panatera. Cornerback number 23, Chad Dickerson. Free safety number 32, J.P. McGlynn. Cornerback number 22, Matt Piotrowski. Strong safety number 24, Nick Orlando. And now the starting offense for Providence. Head coach Matt Seffner. Flanker number 2, Luke Lokang. Tight end number 84, Martin Ryder. Tackle number 77, Sean Deasy. Guard number 56, Brian Liddigson. Center number 67, Brendan Kay. Guard number 55, Jim Dillon. Tackle number 78, Matt Rogers. Split end number 15, Brian Doyle. Quarterback number 7, Steve Quigley. Fullback number 44, Anthony Doyle. And running back number 32, Michael Mintz.
All right, there you have our starting lineups, and it's fitting that we start with the Providence offense, Jim, and they are the key players, two of them both on the offense for the Celtics.
Well, that's exactly right. Luke Lokank is a 3-year starter for Providence. He's got some big catches on the yardage, 52 catches for 766, 10 TDs, but he also plays strong safety. Steve Quigley, that's quite impressive there, 1,922 yards in the air. And tonight, with the weather factor, I think this will be real important whether Steve can hit those passes as a part of the well-balanced passing game. Don Dorham, 1,529 yards of rushing, 24 touchdowns. That's big time against the competition they've been playing. And they'll utilize all of their backs, and including Marshall in the backfield. Dorham's a key, I think, to the running game of the Caravan. And then there's Wally Hess, who's one of the top defensive players in the Catholic Metro Blue Conference as a defensive player. 27 sacks. You just don't see that very often in high school football. So we're in for a great football game, Rich.
Looking forward to it. There you see the records. Providence Catholic at 11-2. Mount Carmel 12-1. Mount Carmel, ironically enough, lost to the 4A champs. They're only lost to Joliet Catholic in the regular season. There's the kickoff. The Celtics have it at the 10 and bring it out. And out across the 25 near the 28-yard line. Here's a look at our starting lineups. And there's the Celtics on offense. Rogers and Dillon. Kay at center. Liddickson and DC up front. Quigley, who we mentioned. Mentz, the running back. He'll get a lot of carries today. Doyle at fullback. Lokank. Brian Doyle, no relation, and Martin Ryder. 1st and 10 from their own 29 for Providence. The give is to Mentz. He's stuck there for a gain of about a yard. Here's a look at the defensive starters. On the line, Carrillo, Murray, and Hess, the All-Stater. Treadway, Niall Campbell, Joe Panettiere, and Bob Zakar, the linebackers. And the DBs, Dickerson, Piotrowski, McGlynn, and Orlando for the Caravan. 2nd down and about 8. Running backs in the eye. Quigley gives to Mentz again. Mentz has running room to the 45-50. He could go all the way to the 30, 20, 15, 10. He's got a man in pursuit and brought down from behind at about the 4-yard line by Chad Dickerson. A gain of 65 yards for Michael Mentz.
And they're coming out in the I formation, and you'll see a big block here from Doyle, the lead fullback there. Kick out block. Excellent job, crossfield block by the tight end, and Mentz is off to the races. And this is why you just got to hustle as a defensive back, and a great diving tackle there made from behind by number 23, Chad Dickerson. And let's see if the Caravan can hold on with the goal line defense, Lee.
Mentz over 1,700 yards during the season. They put a man in motion. And now give to number 29, that's Jim Berthold. And he's down near the goal line, but stops short.
Well, often when teams play each other, Lee, you know, you have that knowledge of each other and what you did well and what you need to do better against each other. And I think sometimes mentally the advantage goes to the team that lost the close game in that first meeting. So we'll see if that proves to be the case. Providence off to a great start.
The Celtics 2nd and goal inside the 1 now. Quigley keeps it himself. He got across.
Wedges it in. Great big play, opening play by Mentz on that isolation. Really got the yardage as they plug it in.
Let's take another look at the touchdown by senior quarterback Steve Quigley.
We'll see Wedge blocking inside, and he breaks across that line. A little help from behind from number 44, Anthony Doyle. High snap.
High snap. It's Quigley. Lost the ball. And there we see the conditions that we haven't mentioned yet, but it's been a rainy, cold day, and that ball slipped on him.
We may see some more of that before the day is over.
It's 6-0 Providence over Mount Carmel. This is the IHSA Network. And we are back. Providence Catholic with the 6-0 lead over Mount Carmel. A 4-play drive covering 71 yards. Only a minute 47. That's not going to do much for your time of possession, but it looks good on the scoreboard.
Well, it's certainly nice for Providence Catholic to get off to such a nice start, and we're going to see a up and down the field affair. Some people think this will be a defensive battle, but both these teams have great offensive weapons in their running game and their passing game, Lee.
And this game starting much the way the regular season contest went. Providence outgained the Caravan 341 to 100 yards in that one. They won the statistical battle but lost the game. Providence to kick off. It's a one-hopper, and Caravan still don't have it picked up, and now it's picked up and taken across the 25. That was Adam Breshock who picked it up. Here's the Mount Carmel offensive line. DiRenzo, Casasanto, Smith at center, Niles Peterson, and Luke Mutter on the right side. Quarterback Aaron Marshall got his first start of the year, the last game of the regular season. Dorham and Brown, the running backs. Cook, Standring, and Bax is the tight end. 1st and 10 from their own 27. Here's Marshall with it. The pitch is to Brown, and he's tackled at about the 19-yard line. Lokank and Steinbach in on the tackle there.
And that was a step back or speed option, which Mount Carmel likes to run, and there's Luke Lokank, number 2, strong safety, just really read that and came up, made a great play on the pitch man.
Loss of 7 on that one. Good job by the Providence defense. Here's who they have up front. Ketelar, Markells, Eric Vlastika, Steve Daly on the line. Linebackers, Cleveland, Eggert, Steinbach, who was in on that tackle. And then the DBs, Martino, Gannon, Lokank, the only guy to go both ways, and Jacobs. 2nd down, 17 from the 20 now. Marshall gives to Dorham. He's out to about the 23. Dorham is their main man, as Jim mentioned, 123 yards against Hubbard in that semifinal win and a touchdown.
Coach Lenti, of course, loves the option play. We'll see Aaron Marshall execute the dive option, the speed option. He'll reverse out. That time he ran a outside veer, 1,529 yards this year. A lot of them hard-earned, just like that outside veer play. 4 or 5 yards of crack sometimes.
Brings up 3rd and 14 for the Caravan. Fakes the give to Brown. Marshall to throw. Has a man. It's Enrique Cook, and he's got the catch. He's across midfield, and he's marked at the 47-yard line of Providence.
And that Enrique Cook, a great play-action pass. They distribute the ball to Cook, Standring, as we'll see a reverse out off the option here. A little fake in. Then Marshall comes off. He's going to hit Enrique Cook over the middle. He has a fade going and a post down the middle. Well thrown, and what a great job of concentrating on the ball, getting your hands up early enough for Enrique Cook.
That was a gain of 30. Marshall keeps it. And he's near a 1st down at the 35. Jacobs with the stop for Providence.
And you'll see a real nice blend of option along with play-action pass off the option. I think that's one of the keys for Mount Carmel, is for them to be able to really get Providence supporting real quickly on the option fakes, so that sets up their play-action passing game lead.
And he's the one guy, I mean, that's the one huge change in between the regular season meeting and today's game, is Aaron Marshall, who's come on at quarterback.
That's correct. And that was not an easy choice for Coach Frank Lenti, but it's worked out quite well.
Another 1st down for the Caravan at the Providence 35. Brown and Dorham in the backfield. Marshall's going to throw it again. This time it's Standring, but it's incomplete. And it was Martino on the coverage.
Well, we always wonder what might make a difference in a ball game like this, but Providence, keep them guessing basically means Providence has run the ball for 2,400 yards and thrown for 2,100. They're very balanced. They need to mix it up offensively, and the Marshall plan means basically you better be ready for Marshall even when he drops back the pass, because they run a lot of quarterback draws. We just mentioned the play action off the option, and defensively, the Caravan has to cover the bootleg against Providence, which they did not do well in the first ball game.
2nd and 10. The give inside to Dorham. He's the 25-20. Slips a tackle. 10-5. Touchdown, Caravan.
That was your outside veer play, run to the tight end side, and he hugged that seam and just a great job of running on those down blocks and break into the end zone.
35-yard touchdown for the senior, Don Dorham, his 25th TD of the year.
And as we have a chance to look at this, you'll see all the linemen down blocking, and Dorham will go just outside that tight end's block, right off that wall, and that's what he did. He hugged the down block and has a lot of, he's not much to tackle except knees and elbows.
5'8", 200 pounds.
Really, there's not a lot to tackle there.
Like trying to tackle a fire hydrant. A very, very tough fire hydrant. Matt Piotrowski on for the point after. 50 of 54 during the regular season. And this one's up and good, and that gives Mount Carmel a 7-6 lead.
Well, Lee, you know, they've been splitting out. Caravan has in the twins formation with Enrique Cook and Standring, and then they're running back to Noel Bax's side, the tight end side. So it's kind of a double threat. Throwing on the one side and outside veer back to the tight end side. I think we'll see a lot more of that because it was successful.
There's the scoring drive for the Caravan. 6 plays, 73 yards. Didn't take them long to put the ball in the end zone either. The first one was 1:47 for Providence. This one 2:11.
Looks like it's going to be exciting, Lee.
And they are prime-time players. Take a look at their records in the playoff. Mount Carmel 64-8.
Look at that winning percentage.
Almost 90%. Title game record 8-2. And for Providence, they're pretty tough in the postseason as well.
And they're looking for their 7th title game this evening, and you know, flip a coin. What great programs, great coaches, and as I mentioned in the pregame, both Matt Seffner and Frank Lente, when you talk to them, they get caught up in the moment. They're not worried about the past. They're involved in what's going on here with this group of young men, and what they're thinking about right now is probably the kickoff and kickoff return, Lee.
Let's meet today's officials. There's a look at the gentlemen in black and white, and give them some credit. They're out there on a pretty nasty day, too.
And that's quite an honor for these gentlemen to be involved refereeing these games, because officials are rated by the coaches, and coaches can be pretty critical. So they want to do a great job for these young men who are down on the field today.
Aaron Marshall will kick it off. He'll bounce one, picked up at the 40, and down there for Providence, Marty Marino.
Good heads-up play there, because if he didn't handle that ball, Lee, you know, that could have been a turnover. For bouncing that squid kick.
Tough day for guys that don't handle the ball a lot to make a play.
Really. It'll
be 1st and 10 now for Providence from their own 38-yard line. Backs in the eye. Man in motion. And to give up the middle.
Big Anthony Doyle. They put Brian Doyle in motion. He's a real fine receiver with Lokank and Brian Doyle on the field. Steve Quigley's got guys. He's thrown over 100 yards, 100 completions to those two wide receivers. So they spread the ball around considerably, just like the Caravan among Carmel.
Gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8. Here's the give to Mentz. And he doesn't get much there.
Nice job by number 44 defensively. Tom Treadway made a real nice play as a linebacker, falling in on that play. Both teams, it's like two great boxers just kind of, you know, getting a good punch in early, and now, never know, maybe it'll turn into a defensive battle as we go on further in the game, Lee.
It's 7-6 first quarter. Mount Carmel the lead. We played about 5 minutes. 3rd down and 7 for the Celtics. Three wide receivers. Quigley's back to throw with some pressure. Has to run for it. Ball pops loose. and it's picked up by Chad Dickerson. Chad Dickerson, I believe, got it for Mount Carmel as that ball popped out of there as Quigley tried to run for it.
And Steve Quigley didn't have much time to throw. They went to a trips formation on one side with a wide receiver on the other side, only one back to protect. Big-time defensive play. We'll watch here as Steve Quigley on the replay takes his drop. There's Doyle blocking backside, but there's pressure as he scrambles up. It looks like 88 strips the ball, and that's Hess.
Wally Hess, the
and Hess has had 27 sacks this year, and he knows where the football is. He ripped it right out.
Mount Carmel now with a big opportunity. Here's the give to Dorham up the middle. Another loose ball. Providence has it. It's whistled dead. Providence recovers. Rory Steinbach, the junior linebacker, recovers the fumble.
Well, it was just an inside play. We see an inside play here, just a dive play off the counter look, and the ball's punched out there, and Steinbach, as you can see, number 9, just picks it up. If he's in the NFL, he'd be running right now.
And that's how much of a factor the weather is today, Jim. Mount Carmel only lost 7 fumbles all season. Providence only lost 6. And that's through 13 games. 1st and 10 now from their own 42, and Quigley has to call timeout.
We've seen a lot here in just the first few minutes. Touchdown, touchdown.
Fumble, fumble.
Turnover, turnover. That's exactly right. The best of both worlds and the worst as far as the teams are concerned.
Here's a look at what the weather's doing here in Champaign. It's probably doing that over most of the state of Illinois today.
Little lightning bolt there. We don't have the lightning yet, but thank goodness. But it's cold in camp here.
Can you draw an icicle?
Well, what I'd like to draw here actually is this, a little sunshine, but we don't have it.
Boy, couldn't have asked for a better day yesterday, and a little bit more like November football weather here today in Illinois.
That's right. But this is, this is where it's nice to be on AstroTurf. The footing is really good. Can you imagine if you had this kind of weather, on natural turf, even though natural turf's a lot of fun to play on?
I was out in the parking lot, no.
Yeah, it's pretty muddy out there, isn't it?
Sure is. Okay, it's still 1st and 10 after the timeout for Providence. Fakes the handoff. He's back to throw. Has a man. And that's Luke Lokank, the leading receiver for Providence.
Real nice job there as Steve Quigley throws back to the weak side. We'll have a chance to see right down here the deep out pattern as Quigley drops to the strong side. As we start the action, you'll see Quigley faking, dropping, and then throwing back to the weak side to Luke Lokank, a well-run play. And they're throwing the ball quite well, aren't they, considering the situation, into the wind.
Nicely diagrammed, Coach. 2nd and 4 now. Quigley, oh, he lost it. And there's the slick ball again, but he recovered it.
And that's one thing I know the officials are going to work real hard to do. Wilson's got a lot of footballs here. They're going to keep bringing them out and keeping that ball dry. In fact, you can see a young man now running to the official every play with towels and bringing those footballs in.
He might be the MVP today.
No doubt. Hey, they're very important. Really a wonderful year for Quigley. Wow. Look at that, huh? 19 touchdowns. That's big-time yardage, especially when you can run the football the way they do.
That's a 58% completion ratio, too. Backs in the eye, 3rd down and 9 after the fumble, recovered by Quigley, and now movement on the line. No flag. It looked like somebody moved, but they snapped the ball.
Didn't see a flag. There's Coach Matt Sefner.
Providence recovered it, apparently. Mentz recovered it. It looked like somebody moved, and then they snapped the ball, but apparently they snapped the ball in time. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, when you in high school football, if you encroach a neutral zone, it's a penalty. Unlike in college and pros where you can jump in and out. But nevertheless, let's play football.
Matt Gross to punt for Providence. There you see his numbers, averaging 31 a kick, and he probably won't get that much into the wind today. Rocky and Jones.
Nice coverage.
Brings it across the 35, 31-yard punt. And for the most up-to-date Illinois high school sports information, click on the IHSA's website. Scores, standings, much, much more. The IHSA website is your #1 source.
Mount Carmel is really stretching the splits in the line, especially to the tight end side, trying to get Providence to stretch and make some running lanes.
7-6 our score. Caravan get the ball after the punt. 1st and 10 from their own 37. Marshall looked like he gave it to Brown, but he has it himself for no gain.
That was the same outside veer play that they scored on for the touchdown to Dorham, but that time it was just really
Jacobs and Ketlar in on the stop.
Really stood up, and you'll see Aaron Marshall here as they come down. They're trying to get this down blocking here, and he wants to pull the ball. See the football come out right there? And he grabbed it. Aaron Marshall grabs it, and that could have been a disastrous play. He's actually reading that, whether to give it or pull it. He waited a little too long.
Marshall with it again. He's trying to get outside. Good pursuit by Rory Steinbach in on the tackle. Matt Martino.
That great inside-out pursuit. You have to really, against an option team, Lee, take away the dive first, then the quarterback, then the pitch in that order. If you don't do that, the dive back will run with the ball all day. So that's the first thing Providence Catholic's doing. You know, after Dorham broke that outside veer, they got to remind themselves to take away the dive and then pursue inside out to the quarterback and pitch man.
We saw Aaron Marshall's numbers, and that's just for 5 games, last game of the regular season and 4 playoff games. Big play here, 3rd and 2 from the 45 for Mount Carmel, and movement on the left side of the line. That's Paul Casasanto, and unfortunately, those big uglies up front there, they only get mentioned when they make a mistake like that.
Unfortunately.
It looked like Mount Carmel moved. Let's see.
They have a dead ball. Foul. Full start. Brown. Make 3rd and about 8.
Interestingly, that play, Lee, the Caravan came out in an unbalanced line. They only had 2 linemen to the... See if they come out and show it again. Looked like they were trying to catch Providence with a little alignment situation. They're balanced up now.
3rd and 7. Marshall to throw. Has a man.
I think that's
Shannon Lightfoot.
Shannon Lightfoot, great name for a wideout. A little spin move off the fake, and we'll see Lightfoot out here. He's going to break that little slant-in move off the spin. Here he comes back in. It took a while. There he is. And the middle was cleared by the second receiver in. So that spin move gave Marshall time for Lightfoot to drive up the field and catch that slant.
Lightfoot, a backup wide receiver, making the catch for the 1st down. Marshall gives to Dorham, has some running room there, and just pushes the pile forward as he gets across the 45, inside the 45-yard line to the 44.
What's interesting to me, Lee, is both teams just stand with what got them here. Nice running option game by Mount Carmel, along with a blended passing game, good play-action passes. And Providence Catholic, the nice balance they've shown, throwing the ball and running the ball. I think they figure, well, let's just run what we got us here, and if we do have some turnovers, it'll equal out. And that seems to be the case thus far.
2nd and 3 for Mount Carmel. They lead at 7-6. There you see the movement on the Providence line, trying to mix up their fronts to confuse Marshall, but he didn't have any trouble that time as he gets the 1st down, and inside the 35-yard line, Ryan Jacobs with the tackle for Providence.
That time he ran the inside veer look and faked the ball. It was Dorham, and Aaron Marshall's very mobile as a athlete. He transferred actually from, I think, Brother Rice in Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. And,
you are correct.
Moved in and learned the offense, and he's learned it well in appearance.
Sat out his junior year and became a starter at the end of the regular season, and has helped lead the Caravan to the state championship game. 1st and 10. He gives to Brown. That's Tom Brown, a junior who had played very sparingly during the regular season, and after injuries to Marty Quinn and Greg Owens, has played admirably the last couple of games here in the playoff.
Certainly has. And on that particular play, Steve Daly, who's only 5'8", 178 pounds for Providence, he plays nose tackle, but they'll offset him. Got in and made a nice play there, tripping up the running back. Otherwise, that could have gone for some good yardage.
2nd and 6, Mount Carmel. Brown and Dorham in the backfield. The give is to Dorham. Not a lot of room there, maybe a yard or two.
Well, with a good option team like the Caravana is, you have to cover that fullback, quarterback, pitchman, and the play action pass. And I think they'll be looking for Noel Backs pretty soon, the tight end. They can hit him, they like to hit him on a play action pass. In fact, he's their leading receiver going into this game.
It's interesting that Mount Carmel has thrown the ball as much as they have. There you see they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, and they are 3rd and 3 here. The Caravan completed, or rather Providence completed as many passes as Mount Carmel attempted during the season. But they've thrown it well here in the early going. They hand it off here, and brought down by Steve Daly at the line of scrimmage.
Daly again.
With Dorham with the carry.
Right, along with Eric Glostica. Nice job there again by Providence defense, and they're in 4-down territory, obviously. Big play right here for Frank Lente. Big call.
And they won't get a play off before the end of the 1st quarter.
Quarter's gone already. Time flies when you're having
yeah,
fun.
Yeah, sure does. 7-6 our score. Mount Carmel leads Providence after 12 minutes of action here in the 5A state title game. We'll be back after these local messages. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. Mount Carmel leading Providence 7-6. Let's go downstairs to Lisa Aprati, weathering the elements today. Lisa.
The 2000 edition of the Football Playoff Championship Game program is on sale by vendors throughout Memorial Stadium. This year's program contains rosters and data.
Lisa's audio.
All the rain we've had, you get a lot of water involved in all that equipment.
We'll get back down to her as soon as we can. I know I feel so bad for her and the rest of the folks down on the field today. We had such a beautiful day here yesterday. 4th and 3 now for Mount Carmel. They're going to go for it at the 29-yard line.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is it dead?
There's the give to Dorham. And it's going to be very close depending on the spot.
Dead?
Matt Eggert with the stop, along with Britt Cleveland. I think
it's going to be close.
They're going to have to measure.
There.
All right, let's go back downstairs to Lisa while we wait for that measurement. Lisa? Hello?
Okay, one more time. It is definitely still raining here. I'm joined by Bill Reedy. Bill is a 1964 graduate at Mount Carmel and currently works with the freshman team at Mount Carmel. And this has to be really exciting for you to watch some of your players play on the varsity team.
It's very exciting. This is a family tradition here at Mount Carmel. Over the years, we've had numerous players who have gone on, been very successful. But all in all, it's a great family tradition here at Mount Carmel.
Now, you also had a son that graduated not too long ago that won a state title?
Yes, I did. My son, Bill, was a 1996 graduate and played on the 1996 state team.
And this is something that you definitely do not want to quit. You want to still continue to come to Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel is part of my life.
Bill,
I love Mount Carmel.
Bill, thank you very much. You do a wonderful job. Varsity Tunes doing a great job, too, in the lead now at 7-6. I'll send it back up to the men upstairs.
Thanks, Lisa. Stay dry. Try anyway. Obviously, Mount Carmel got the first down, and they now have it 2nd down and 7 at the Providence 22. Tom Brown on that last carry. Marshall back to throw. Lost it to the end zone. Noel Backs. Touchdown, Mount Carmel. And a great call by the coach. You said they were going to go to the tight end, and they did that time for a 22-yard Mount Carmel touchdown.
And Frank Lente was waiting and just setting it up. ended up going back to the tight end, and we'll have a chance to see Noel Bax, who's made a lot of catches this year. You'll see him sneak out up the field there, off the play action. Everybody's thinking twin side. Bax goes up the field. Marshall lays it out, a little underthrown because it's into the wind, but Bax makes a great adjustment to the ball. Just a great adjustment. See the hold the linebackers, but the key there is the secondary. The secondary has to read their keys because that tight end got on someone's cushion quickly.
Matt Pietrowski on for the extra point, and we have a flag. That's just the 18th catch of the year for Noel Bax, but a big one here. He gives Mount Carmel a 13-6 lead. And the Caravan.
We have a dead ball foul on the Brown. Replay the down.
I was going to say Mount Carmel moving the wrong way, so they will have to try this now. It'll be a 25-yard extra point attempt into the wind.
Right, into the wind, and these extra points are big.
Snap high, good job getting it down. It's up and good.
And an 8-point game now.
14-6 our score, 11:27 left in the second. This is the IHSA Football Network. (14-6) our score here in the second quarter. Mount Carmel to kick off with a 14-6 lead. 11:27 left in the second. And as you mentioned, Jim, it'll be Providence with the wind at their back on this possession. This kick fielded at the 11, brought out by Providence, out to the 30 and across the 30.
Nice job by Brian Doyle. Good wide receiver, very athletic. And there's no panic buttons to push here. It's just a matter now of Matt Sefner's Celtics doing what they do well, and that's run the ball and hold on to it and blend that nice passing game in with Steve Quigley at the helm. Carmel 11 plays, 63 yards. That was just a very nice drive by the Caravan.
Providence tries to answer. They start at their own 32. Here's the give to Mentz up the middle. He's across the 35 out near the 40. Gain of about 7. Joe Panatera with the stop. Let's take a look at the first half stats. Rushing yards in Mount Carmel's favor, and look at the first downs. 5-1 in favor of the Caravan. And the passing yards, I think that might be the most surprising number out there.
I agree with you. You know, Mount Carmel here, and this is a little bit of a surprise, but I think that's going to even up as we watch this drive.
Mount Carmel has proven that even though they didn't throw the ball much in the first 13 games of the year, they can throw it if they want to. Second down and 2. Give to the up back is Doyle, and he's across the 40. Anthony Doyle, 6'1" senior, the fullback. No relation to the wide receiver, Brian Doyle.
Oh, that's right. Now, I noticed that Jim Berthold, number 29, has been in the ball game the last couple of plays at tailback. He's a big young man at 6'1", 188 pounds, so he may see some time back there also.
Matt Sefner says he's going to put him in for short yardage situations like that. There you get a look at the 33-year veteran coach at Providence Catholic.
Done such a great job there. Look at that record, 245 victories.
3rd and 1. Quigley to throw. Has a man, but Doyle couldn't hang on. Good coverage that time by Mount Carmel.
Really good coverage, and that was a gutsy call. I mean, went for the slant in, as we'll have a chance to see out here on the slant move. But it's good coverage and a good corner. Comes to the upfield arm, number 22. Makes a great throw. Pietrowski, and he just punched the ball out. Timed it up.
Jim, that was the 7th, or make that the 6th pass attempt of the game. In the 4A game, those two teams combined for 7 attempts. So it hasn't been, the weather hasn't affected these teams as much. Providence to punt. And he loses it, and it's back, but now it brings it back out across the 20. That is number 20, Rocky Anjone.
That was a dangerous situation. Celtics punting with a win. They got a nice change of field position there.
Football trivia, the 3 combined Glenbard schools have won 1 state title. Name the school, year, and coach. And make your guess at tv@ihsa.org, and you win a hat.
I'm familiar with the Glenbard system, but
are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Then you may be.
I know Glenbard North. Glenbard North will be in the 6A finals tonight.
You're disqualified then.
All right.
First and 10, Mount Carmel, a 14-6 lead. Marshall gives it inside, and that's Dorham out to about the 25-yard line.
Well, good field position for Providence defensively, but they have to make a stand now and try to pop the ball loose. Nice carry by Dorham, who has over 1,500 yards this season. Hard-earned yardage inside. A lot of it's on the dive, too. Out the veer, inside veer and outside veer, not just catching balls on the pitch.
It's the 3rd title game start for Don Dorham, the senior from Mount Carmel. 2nd and 5. There's another give, and it looked like Marshall might have wanted to take it back again. We've seen that a couple of times.
And that's what's happening when you're truly reading the give or the pull. There's a feel that the quarterback has to have, and as we have a chance to look at this replay, we'll see right in here we're going to see some down blocking, but this dive back, when they get the dive right here, this is where the problem comes. They let number 2 go, and he was the guy that that's the man he's supposed to read. Second defender in, and instead he misread it. He should have pulled the ball, but you have to be patient when you run the option.
Brown a gain of a couple. Brown a gain of a couple on that one. 3rd and 3. Providence mixing up their defensive fronts. Marshall keeps, and he's near the 30, but appears to be short of the first down.
And often your quarterback on the option, when he rides the dive back in, will follow him right up the hole like Aaron Marshall did that play. And often that's a predetermined play where everybody blocks solid, and you get your good ball carrier, strong running back like Marshall, who's over 200 pounds, a chance to run with it. We'll see. It's going to be close on the measurement lead. This would be big for Providence if they're short, and they are short.
But not by much.
And now this is a major call. I mean, you know, they're only on their 30-yard line. It's early in the game. We'll see what Frank Lenti decides to do here. He's thinking, should we go? No, yes, no.
Well,
it looks like he's considering going.
I think he might go. You're gonna punt into a wind anyway. They're gonna get good field position, whether they turn it over at the 30 or maybe only get it near midfield.
Now Providence will probably get in the gaps for their short yardage goal line defense right now. And now Carmel possibly might come out and go hit, and to do a big cadence, try to get them to jump offside, call a timeout if they don't get it. Let's see.
4th and 1 from their own 30. They go for it.
It's all going to depend on the spot, Lee. It's all going to depend on the spot.
It looked like he got forward motion. We'll see. Aaron Marshall on the keeper.
I mean, that's a good call with Aaron Marshall at 200 pounds.
And it's a first down for Mount Carmel.
Whew. That was exciting. You never knew getting 6 inches distance with a football could be as exciting as that, right?
Well, that's confidence in your defense, too.
No doubt about that.
And again, you can check out the stats and keep up to date with this game. TV at IHSA.org. Live stats for you at home. Here's Marshall with the keep on first down. He gets almost to the 40-yard line.
He did a nice job there. Left tackle, they did not veer block that. They actually blocked that solidly, and we'll have a chance to see the left tackle come around here and hook block as Marshall comes in. And we don't give linemen much credit here. And makes a nice hook block, and great job tying up the defensive end so that Marshall can make that play.
7 minutes left, second quarter. Mount Carmel driving in make that 8-point lead. Marshall fakes the give. He'll throw it downfield. Nice move on the ball, and picked off. Matt Martino with the interception for Providence.
And that's just what the Celtics ordered and needed also, a turnover. The Caravan went with that counter option pass. We've seen it before. He'll actually end up going to the fade man, and as they run a double pattern, he's going deep on the fade. Well covered, upfield arm he played. He played the perfect pass. Great interception, great position, big turnover for his team.
Bob Standring made a nice move on that ball from Mount Carmel and almost came up with the catch, but tipped it long enough for Martino to come up with the interception. That's Michael Mentz, brought down by Joe Panettiere. I'm sorry, that's Jim Berthold on the carry.
Well, that was a great interception by Matt Martino on the previous play, and that's what you need. You need your defense to come up big. You know, their secondary got burnt by no backs just last series, so I'm sure the coaches said, make sure you're reading your keys. Don't freeze your feet out there.
Berthold just a yard on that carry, 2nd and 9. Snap count by Quigley, goes across the middle and has a man. That's Martin Ryder, tight end.
Ryder made a great catch.
Niall Campbell with a stop.
Right, Steve Quigley off the drop. We're going to have a chance to see Ryder, the tight end here, work into the middle of the field. Off the 3-step drop and dump it right in the middle. And Ryder had to do a nice job of reading where the linebackers were and avoiding people. Big play. Nice job going to the tight end.
20th catch of the year for Martin Ryder. Gives Providence a first down after a 14-yard pickup. Another long pass. That one's going to be picked off, and that is Nick Orlando with the interception. He had an interception against Hubbard in the semifinals and ran it back for a touchdown. And the senior defensive back comes up big here as the team trade turnovers for the 2nd time in the game.
And we have Ryder coming on a cross pattern. And Quigley wants to go to Luke Lokank deep, and he just throws it out there, hoping he'll be there. But Orlando played that and read the pattern very well. And I'm sure that Steve Quigley would like to have that one back on a rubber string. If there is such a thing.
Well, the teams traded fumbles in the first quarter. Now they trade interceptions in the second. 5:35 left. 1st and 10. Mount Carmel that gives to Dorham, and he'll get a couple and brought down by a host of tacklers. Rory Steinbach in there.
Angelo Fiorenzo, I noticed 77 has been doing a nice job at left tackle for the Caravan, blocking, along with all those guys up front. Paul Casasano, Tom Smith, Niles Pedersen, and Luke Mutter. Nice line. Both sides.
2nd and 8. Marshall pitches to Dorham, trying to get outside, and brought down, no gain.
Definitely nice defense there.
Rick Cleveland in on the tackle, along with Chris Markells.
He really strung out the option play. Yep, we've covered all aspects. Marshall will do a spin move off this. We'll get a dive, but the bottom line will be he'll go to the pitch man off the option right there. Here's Dorham, and nice pursuit right there by Cleveland, as you said, working inside out. You have to take away the option from the inside out and have leverage and use your sideline properly. Coaches want. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. 63 yards so far.
I hear the coaches yelling, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. They don't want to delay a game right now. That would just kill a drive. It's about.
And they had to call timeout. The clock was down to 3.
Well,
that's why they were yelling.
I've been there.
You've been on the sideline and know, that's right.
And that would have been a costly. So that's a worthwhile, timeout, because it would have been a costly penalty. But you don't really want to use your timeouts anyway.
Right. Mount Carmel, a 14-6 lead on the scoreboard. 3:57 left here in the second. And look at the streakers are here today. We thought that went away in the 70s. The Caravan with 4 consecutive state titles, 88, 89, 90, 91. They're going for a three-peat here today, and there's what the Celtics did, 4 straight in the 90s.
Right here, and I'll tell you what, that's hard. It's hard enough to win 1 state championship, let alone to get streaks going. And what happens there is often then the group that was involved, for example, in one season, the next group who were juniors, they remember the field and remember the emotion, and it just motivates them more to work hard and do what it takes to get here.
Mount Carmel's current streak, they beat Chicago Marion a year ago, 31-7, and this is a rematch of the 98 championship game. And Carmel won that one over Providence, 28-3. It's 14-6 here now, 3:57 left, 3rd and 9, Mount Carmel. Marshall fakes the handoff, back to throw, has time, and no, incomplete. Rory Steinbach was there and might have gotten a hand on it. It was intended for Sean Lightfoot.
He really did, and Lightfoot ran a square in. It was an interesting pattern, and we'll have a chance to watch this as Marshall does his fake inside the Dorham. He's going to throw over the middle on a square and has plenty of time to throw, but there you see great under coverage by your linebacker, Steinbach, whose brother was a great player a few years ago, by the way. He was at Iowa now, as a matter of fact.
Bob Standring back to kick.
His
brother is a kicker at Northwestern.
Right.
Did a good job of handling a low snap there. Here's Martino with it at the 40. And a lot of brown shirts meet him there.
Good field position, though, Lee. Actually starting about the 40-yard line with the wind at your back. This is an opportunity for Providence Catholic to tie the ball game up if they can put a good drive together.
30-yard punt into the wind for Bob Standring. Nice job. Here's Providence starting the drive at their own 40. And it's Berthold again on the carry, just across the 40.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Quigley break out that bootleg pass that hurt the Caravan in their first meeting.
Hey, here's our football trivia answer. The 3 combined Glenbard schools. Oh, excuse me, we're not going to give you the answer yet. The 3 combined Glenbard schools have won 1 state title. Name the school, year, and coach, and respond at tv@ihsa.org. Apparently, we're going to give you all day to answer. You can look it up. And Quigley's pass is complete.
He's got the catch.
It is complete to Brian Doyle.
Doyle made the catch on the turn-in. That's a nice read pattern. If we'll have a chance to see Doyle come up and into the inside, they'll have a hot receiver in the flat. There's your tight end in the flat. He reads the under coverage. Doesn't. How can you pick that ball out? There's no way you can defend that. It's low.
Only
and a
one
great
guy.
catch.
Only one guy could catch it.
Great
3rd and 1. And they give it to Doyle, the fullback, has the first down. Niall Campbell with the stop. First down, Providence at the 45.
And we talked about, there's Matt Seffner, keep them guessing. I mean, run, throw, throw, run. You keep that defense on its heels when you mix them up like they're doing right now. Anthony Doyle, who's really a solid blocker, has done a nice job of 5.8 per carry.
1st and 10, Providence. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the second quarter.
That's that lead play there, Lee, that they broke out early in the game. This time Carmel did a lot better job of constricting the hole. Linebacker stepping up to make the stop.
Steve Strimmel, the sophomore, with the carry that time for no gain.
I'm wondering if Michael Mentz is okay. We haven't seen him, have we?
No, we haven't.
It's strange that he wouldn't be on the field with a great job he's done this year.
2nd and 9. And Quigley had trouble with the exchange. Looked like he had a little trouble getting a hold of the ball there.
He certainly did, and he had a couple linemen pulling out in front of him on this play. And the play broke down. We'll see linemen coming out on this play. And it looks like he gets the ball tied up with some of his linemen that were moving. And that play did not time out the way the Celtics had wished. And I think somebody's going to take a timeout.
Providence calls timeout. They trail 14-6 with 1:18 left here in the second quarter.
Coach Matt Seffner has a great coaching staff. I think they have about 10 assistants now who work with the program. A lot of longevity, same with Frank Lentele. His brother works with him, and so these coaches have been together for quite a while.
And we mentioned earlier that these two teams have combined for, look at the titles, oh my goodness. Mount Carmel, 5A state titles in 80, 89, 90, 91, 96, 98, 99, and they won a 6A title in 88.
And when talking to Frank Lentele, he mentioned that one was very exciting because I think they beat East St. Louis in that one. And this was Bill Bars, who was the coach back in 80 for their first championship.
The class of the classes, Providence has won 4A state titles and one in 5A.
Providence had an outstanding winning streak going about 4 years in a row. I think it was 50 games. So Bishop Mack broke that streak a few years ago.
Third down and 10. Quigley back to throw. Has a man at the 30. Did he come up with the catch? It's Brian Doyle, and I think he caught it. And that's a first down.
He had a real interesting combination there with Doyle. Luke Lokank went underneath it. Here's Luke Lokank out here. He attracts people underneath, but Doyle's going to break in behind. And see, they'll pull, and he throws the ball to the outside shoulder, and that's pretty good coverage. He found the void, Quigley did, in between the deep coverage man and the short coverage man.
First and 10 from the 29. And Quigley's pass intended for Doyle, incomplete. Piotrowski there on the cover.
He went with a little hitch pattern, but the Caravan rolled up on that pretty tight. That could have been dangerous. And I threw into the short side of the field, which was interesting also. They haven't gone for the long ball yet to Luke Lokank, except for that one time, and they're very aware of Luke Lokank deep. So what I think Celtics will do, there's Lokank going to the top, all by himself out there on the weak side.
Second and 10. Quigley back to throw, and it's short of Lokank.
They hit that pass earlier. That's where they go to the weak side, the wide side of the field, though. He has a lot of room to operate there, Luke Lokank did. Quigley he had a lot of time to throw, but ball was underthrown. Good coverage also by the secondary, and good under coverage by a linebacker in that situation.
Quigley now 4 for 8 with the 1 interception.
Providence might use that, what they call a shake pattern, where they break to the post and then back to the corner later in this game to that weak side, getting Lokank or Doyle a chance to work one-on-one.
Third and 10. Backs in the eye. Quigley will throw again. Here comes the Carmel defense. And that is a complete pass, but it is short of the first down. Martin Ryder with his second catch of the game.
Great job by Ryder laying out for that football. And, of course, Providence is in 4 for 10 territory. The time's running short here. 45 seconds, 43.
They've got a timeout left, and it looks like they'll take it here. No, Mount Carmel is. They signaled that Mount Carmel called timeout.
Well, defensive coordinator is going to talk about, it looked like Frank Lentele's brother there, in fact. Sure is. We're going to talk about things to look for. I mean, this is a big play. 4th and 3 or 4th and about 2.5 lead. Might see a play action pass. They might run the ball. They could go to the end zone. I mean, they have a lot of options. What do we have, 1 timeout left?
1 timeout for each team.
There's Matt Seffner talking with the official, pleading his case about something.
And an interesting story about his favorite hat there. We'll get to that a little later, perhaps. It's a tradition for Matt Seffner, rather.
He breaks it out for the big games.
He does. That's from his grade school, St. Mary Nativity in Joliet, where he went to grade school, and he wears it for all the big games, and I think this one will probably qualify. 4th and 3, big play in a big game right here. Doyle is the lone back. Man in motion is Brian Doyle. Quigley to throw. It's complete and then broken up. Had a hand on it. Matt Piotrowski with the defense for the Caravan that time.
Well, they
looked like the man had it, and Piotrowski took his legs out from under him. I think that was Brian Doyle.
Right, it was. He goes to the hot flat route. There was slant flat, and just a great tackle. And that's what high school football is about, making big plays just like that. Great tackle by number 22, Matt Piotrowski.
So Mount Carmel gets the ball back with 35 seconds to go with a 14-6 lead. It gives to Dorham. Out to the 40, the 45, 50. And here comes a man to bring him down. That is Martino, and brings him down inside the 25-yard line.
Now, who would have expected that? That kind of breakout run. Of course, you know, Providence might be thinking pass, 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 but we're going to just have a chance to see Dorham move right up the chute, and he's got some wheels. Broke the tackle. He's trying to high step it. Nice angle over there. If it hadn't been for number 13, Matt Martino, 6 more points for the Caravan.
54 yards. He's now over 100 for the game. And here's the pass over the middle. Cook, touchdown!
Enrique Cook.
24 yards, Aaron Marshall to Enrique Cook.
And there's that play action blended in with a counter spin, and Enrique Cook, we'll see, Marshall's going to fake in here and give that little fake. He's going to hit the second receiver. You'll see him coming in from this side. Enrique Cook just breaking free right there, right over the middle. Beautifully thrown ball. Nice play, Enrique Cook. A good execution by Aaron Marshall.
And a quick hit by Mount Carmel. They got the ball with 39 seconds, almost the length of the field to go. That play by Dorham, the run, I mean, you think maybe they're going to run out the clock.
Well, that's why you play every play hard. Every play. You just know, you never know when one's going to break for you like that, Lee.
Piotrowski for the extra point try. Another high snap and another good job by the holder. Piotrowski's kick is good. And that's Matt Shalvis, who's the holder, and he's done a good job on the last couple of snaps. They've been a little bit high, and he's put him down for Piotrowski, and he gives Mount Carmel a 21-6 lead with 11 seconds left. That was a 28-second drive.
Who would have thought it, really? I mean, you know, as we have a chance to see Dorham in here, he's just going to hit straight up the chute, and they've run this play several times. Oh, no, this is the touchdown.
This is a touchdown.
Yeah, okay, great. Replay on the touchdown. Enrique Cook, real nicely done. And that play was set up. They wouldn't have had a chance to do that if it hadn't been for Dorham's outstanding breakaway run on the inside play.
It's a 24-second drive.
Who would have thought it, really? I mean, they're going into the wind.
Right.
I mean, I figure, hey, take a knee here almost, you know, but you don't do that, I guess, if you're Frank Lente and have confidence that each play is an important play in the offense. And that's the thing about option football. Sometimes that guy will just break. And I know Providence was probably thinking pass in that situation. They had a lot of field to protect. Felt pretty comfortable about defending the dive play. Watch out, never know what could happen here.
Dorham is second touchdown of the day, 26th on the season. Or I'm sorry, that was, he didn't get the touchdown.
He set it up, though. Enrique Cook, nice catch, though.
Cook with his 6th touchdown catch of the year. The kick bounces at the 20. That's Martino with it to the 25-30. Still on his feet at the 35. And half of the kickoff team for Mount Carmel brings him down.
Well, that shows you the kind of effort that's going out there. Mount Carmel was trying to strip it, and Providence was trying to break the touchdown and get rich quick, as we call it.
So Mount Carmel goes to the locker room with a 21-6 lead over Providence Catholic. Mount Carmel with a quick strike right there at the end of the half to take a 2-touchdown lead into the locker room.
And that's big, Lee, no doubt about it. And I'm sure Matt Seffner will have a lot to talk to about making every play count in the second half.
Let's go to Lisa Prati.
I'm with Coach Seffner here. Coach, you're down 21-6 right now. Obviously, we saw a lot of turnovers take place in the first half. What is your team going to have to do to execute in the second?
Oh, we're just going to have to, just calm down a little bit. First of all, we're doing too much screaming and yelling at one another right now. The kids are all upset. We have to calm down, get back to playing some basic football, and, get our offense going, first of all. And then, defense, our defense has been on the field way too much. That's our main problem right now.
Well, is one of the main reasons, though, too, that you're down right now is just because of the weather conditions, just because of the running attack as well as your air attack? I mean, you're still mixing it up.
Right. It just, the weather doesn't help, but it's certainly not hurting, Mount Carmel. It's just, we're just not playing very well right now. Just not playing very well.
So, all right. Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Send it back up to the guys.
All right, Lisa, thank you. 21-6, our halftime score. Mount Carmel leading Providence Catholic. And we will be back after this local break. Out on the field, an exciting first half, Jim.
Well, Lee, no doubt about it. And I know that last touchdown that Carmel broke the long run and hit the great play-action pass certainly lit them up. And I'm sure the Providence Catholic players are going to be, like Matt Seffner said, he needs to get in there and just say, hey, guys, let's settle down. Let's settle down and play the second half.
Here's a look at our first half statistics, and the numbers are, of course, in Mount Carmel's favor. Look at the rushing yards, yeah?
Rushing yardage. Both teams been able to run the ball quite well, but turnovers are equal. Both teams, it seems like it was give and take, a fumble, right. Interception. That's been kind of a wash. Third down conversions pretty equal. Time of possession pretty equal, too. I mean, really, I just think the difference here has been the last two plays really made this into a different kind of ball game, because trailing by 14, certainly a little bit more to overcome than trailing by one touchdown. But I know Matt Seffner's been around a long time. You see how poised he was when Lisa talked to him about we just got to not get over hyper here and just go down, and there's another half of football to play. There's just no doubt about it.
I was impressed with your figure 8 there.
Oh, the figure.
That was very nice.
Well, that's how we like to lock in when you teach about locking in on receivers, and there's been some good passing games going on, don't you think, Lee? I've been impressed by the throwing game considering the weather conditions.
21-6, our halftime score. Mount Carmel leading Providence in the chase for the 5A state title. We will be back after this local break.
Welcome back to the 5A state championship game between Mount Carmel and Providence. Mount Carmel right now up 21-6. And joining me from Providence Catholic is Father Richard McGrath, who has been the principal as well as the superintendent for 16 years now at Providence.
Absolutely. About the time you were in first grade, I think I became principal,
Well, it's wonderful to have you here, and I know you're trying to keep dry.
We are too, we're not doing too well. This is the 8th appearance of Providence in the state championship game. We've won 6. We're glad to be here with Mount Carmel, another terrific high school program, great tradition. 2 great Catholic schools together competing for a championship.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about your school as well as what the atmosphere has been like this past week.
Well, we're kind of used to going to the state tournament, so the atmosphere has been generally low-key. Boys and girls are excited to be here, however, and they do the best they can to get ready. It's been, as I said, relatively quiet, but we almost did really well in volleyball this year, and we're hopeful to do well again in wrestling. We're rated #1 in wrestling, and we have 18 overall state championships, the largest number of any private school in the state up till now. So they're kind of used to it, but they like to win.
That's wonderful. Tell us also a little bit about how the team actually got here today and what it's been like for them to be able to have a season like they have this year.
Well, we've had our ups and downs a little bit. We have 2 losses to Mount Carmel here early in the season, and then to Loyola up north 7-6. So they've had their ups and downs, but they're consistent, very hard workers. They work really year-round to get ready for this. So do many schools like Mount Carmel have to work really hard to have a quality program. So there's a lot that goes into this, a lot of coaching, a lot of hard work, a lot of weightlifting, a lot of off-season conditioning, just a lot of effort.
Well, obviously, you're very fortunate to have such a wonderful head coach as Matt Sefner. Talk a little bit about Matt.
Well, Matt started the program in 1968. He was our first and only football coach. He's coached every Providence team. He has almost 300 wins, I believe the record book says, and certainly with 6 state champions, he's one of the greatest coaches in the state of Illinois.
Well, Father McGrath, thank you very much. It's wonderful to finally meet you. Good luck with the rest of the game.
My pleasure to be here with you. Good luck. Stay warm.
Thank you very much. Right now, Mount Carmel in the lead, 21-6. I'm going to send it to a local break, and we'll be right back.
You look like a guy who's retired.
We're back at Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois, our 5A state championship. Mount Carmel leading Providence Catholic 21-6, and we are back upstairs with Taylor Bell of the Chicago Sun-Times. You've seen a few of these over the years, haven't you?
Well, I've been here for all of them, since 1974. It's been, we haven't had this kind of weather in most of them, but no, it's been really memorable. It's really been fun, and this was one of the good ones.
Let's talk about that first half. Your thoughts on the first half? Kind of a quick strike there to make it a little bit of a different complexion to this game.
Well, these teams know each other for the last few years. It's turning into one of the real great rivalries. They only played a few games, but they are great rivals, and I don't know that they like each other very much. And it's a shame that Michael Mintz is out right now, maybe out for the game, I don't know, but Durham is a great running back. He's broken all the Mount Carmel records. When you think Mount Carmel goes back to 1924, and he just broke a couple of season and career records that were set 50 years ago. You can see just what kind of a great running back he is.
Of course, Mount Carmel is now chasing Joliet Catholic for the lead in the state titles race. Mount Carmel with 8, and Joliet Catholic won their 9th in the 4A game.
Well, and they're great rivals too. I mean, they
Right.
start out the season, the first, second game of the year. It's turned into a great rivalry, and both Carmelite schools. It's a great tradition, and it's getting better and better. And next year, with several good players coming back for both teams, it's going to be, we won't be surprised to see these two teams back here next year.
When you go back to 74 and all the state title games you've seen, what one game sticks out in your mind?
Well, the funny thing is the first one. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen a better game than the first 5A championship game when there were only 5 classes in 1974. Glenbrook North beating an East St. Louis team that everybody thought was ready for the NFL. 19-13 in overtime, 50-yard pass in the fourth quarter to tie it up. Glenbrook North, Sam Samorian's team, had one Division I player. Jack Moeller was an all-state linebacker, and East St. Louis had an NFL Hall of Famer and Kellen Winslow and several other college players. It was a great team that nobody thought could be beaten, and Glenbrook North with a bunch of Ivy Leaguers did it. And I've never seen a better game in all these years than the first one.
Well, you dropped some pretty big names there, Kellen Winslow and others. Who was maybe the best player to play in a state championship game?
Oh boy, that goes back quite. I mean, just the last few years, we've seen some great championship games. I mean, Ryan Clifford last year and the year before with John Butcher and John Swigert from Wheaton South. I mean, we've just, and this year with J.R. Zwerzinski, who'll be back next year, and Don Dorham here. I mean, every year somebody comes to the front. A great player, or maybe not a great player as far as a college is concerned, but a great high school player who just has his moment, and that's what this is all about. I mean, it's just fun to see these kids have their one great moment of glory, so to speak, in the spotlight here at a place like Memorial Stadium.
Taylor Bell of Chicago Sun-Times, thanks for joining us today. Let's send it down to Lisa Prati down on the field. Lisa.
I'm down here with Father Carl Markel. I have to get all these fathers correct over here. He's from Mount Carmel, and he's actually been the principal there for 5 years now. But something that I think maybe a lot of people may not realize is he is a graduate of Joliet Catholic High School.
That's true. That's true. I graduated from Joliet Catholic High School in 1980.
In 1980, so you were you able to see the championship game today?
I didn't see the championship game today, but I saw all the ones when I was in high school. We won 4 in a row at that time, and they were very, very exciting. So I'm very happy that they won. Very happy that they won today.
I bet you are. I bet you are. And I know Mount Carmel on their way to possibly a 9th title.
That's right, a 9th title, and we've been down here now. This is our 11th time in 20 years, and I think we're used to the Thanksgiving break being down in downstate, whether it be at ISU or here at the U of I. So we're really happy to be here.
Well, talk a little bit about Mount Carmel and the tradition that Mount Carmel has.
Well, we have a great tradition. The school was 100 years old last year, and so we have a great tradition of fine academics and excellent athletics, and so we're really proud of what has been going on the athletic field, but especially what goes on in the classroom.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, the learning. A lot of the football guys are very, very good students and go on to some named universities that we're very proud of. So it's really been a great tradition, and I really feel blessed to be a part of it.
It's wonderful. Well, Carl, thank you very much for coming out here. He may look like he's a little dry, but, you know, we got him out in the rain here for a little while, but it was a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, and we're going to send it to the IHS. You're watching the IHSA television network right now. Mount Carmel in the lead, 21-6.
About him being
hurt. He just said he thinks he's hurt.
21-6, our halftime score. Mount Carmel leading Providence Catholic as we try to decide the 5A state championship. Joliet Catholic a winner in the 4A earlier today. Take a look at some first half highlights. And we begin with Providence. They got on the board first. This is Michael Mess, who we didn't see later in the game.
In fact, it was right after this run. You know, sometimes when you're brought down from behind, he seemed to limp off a little bit, and we haven't seen him reappear after that long run, and then to sneak in.
That set up the Quigley touchdown. The extra point was no good. 6-0 Providence.
There's the outside veer play. Beautiful job by Don Dorham, keeping his legs alive. Dorham's got 117 yards in this first half, averaging 10.6 per carry.
Here's Aaron Marshall on the play action. That was Noel Bax, the play you called.
Well,
Noel Bax on the catch.
Beautiful job. Here's the interception, possibly. Yes, it is. Beautifully played there defensively by Matt Martino.
They traded fumbles in the first quarter, then they traded interceptions. That was check that, Nick Orlando with that interception. Then it's Enrique Cook with the touchdown catch.
Only
and then
left.
A quick hit there with 30, 40 seconds left. It was Dorham with the 54-yard run and then the touchdown.
And
for a 21-6 lead, and there's the spaceship. That's the Assembly Hall, just across the street.
Big stadium. University of Illinois is hosting it here, and it's a very nice place for these young men to have a chance to play football.
It sure is, and I'll be honest with you, I thought maybe it was too big, but I was down on the field all day yesterday, and it's a beautiful place for the state finals. Taking
a look at these yards today, overall Providence is hitting on 341.
That was back on October 6th.
On that first encounter, and now they're at 88, and that's big difference there. And Mount Carmel's turned it up a notch. So that, along with the passing game and the turnovers, those last two plays that got Mount Carmel in the end zone, the long run by Dorham and the great play-action pass to Enrique Cook, makes it difficult now for Providence to come out. They've got 2 touchdowns to overcome, but they certainly can do it. They've got a whole half of football to play.
Of course, it won't be as easy, or they won't have as good of a chance of doing that without Michael Mentz in the lineup. We'll have to check on his condition for you. He did not play much of the first half.
And you know, I'm sure if there's an opportunity where he can go in and play, he will play, because he's got a lot of rest time after this.
All right, I jumped the gun last time. My apologies. 3 combined Glen Bart schools have won 1 state title. Name the school, year, and coach. Now I can give the answer. It's been killing me. I want to give the answer because I know who it is. It's my partner.
Well,
there he is.
That was a lot of fun.
19 and 83.
We actually, that was a memorable moment up there at Northwestern, and so we weren't there as many times as these two teams, but whenever you have a chance to get into this situation, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I'm hoping that our sister school, Glen Bart North, has a shot at the 6A game, so they'll be in the next game with Maine South.
There he is, the answer to your trivia question. Congratulations. Well, let's go downstairs before the kickoff to Lisa Prati.
I'm here with Coach Lenty. Coach, you have had some great field position in the first half of the game. A lot of turnovers that you guys have definitely capitalized. Talk a little bit about what's going to take place in the second half.
Well, number one, we want to make sure we possess the football. We don't want to put Providence in position to go a short route for the touchdown. We want to make sure we try and control the clock and the football at the same time. We're going to receive the opening kickoff. Hopefully we can make something good happen with it and keep trying to make great plays on defense.
Okay, good luck, Coach. Thank you very much. Back to you guys.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. One team is just 24 minutes on the clock away from a state title. Could be a three-peat for Mount Carmel.
And it's funny, you know, Lee, exactly what Coach Lenti said. But the Caravan's not just going to be able to just sit on the ball and just give the ball on dive plays. I think they're going to keep running their offense just the way they have, but just try to be real aware of double, you know, vice grip on the football, running it, and make sure they had, remember in the first half, some times when Aaron Marshall held onto that ball a long time and then tried to pull it out late. He's probably going to tell them, if you're not sure on the read, give the football to Dorham or Brown or wherever the back is receiving the dive play.
And there's another look at Matt Seffner wearing his traditional hat.
33 years. Isn't that amazing? 5 decades Coach Seffner's been involved there, from in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now the year 2000. How many coaches in high school or even anywhere in coaching can say they've been through all those eras of coaching? And you know he does it because he likes to work with young men and see them grow and develop.
The hat from St. Mary Nativity, as we mentioned earlier, his grade school in Joliet. Wears it for the big games. And you talk about the longevity. He's got a couple of players playing for him now, and he coached their fathers. Chris Markells, or I'm sorry.
And that's something. That happens if you stay around long enough.
He coached his dad, Butch. Providence to kick off to start the third quarter. It's run down at the 6-yard line by Rocky Angone. The 15-20. And he's brought down there at about the 22-yard line, where Mount Carmel will start with a 15-point lead.
Well, the Caravan did a nice job of blending their play-action passes and option together, which we had talked about earlier in the pregame a little bit. And we'll see if they start off just the way they finished that last half. The first half, rather, with hitting with Dorham in there on the inside dive plays. That's a safe play, and he's a really fine running back.
There's one of the stars of the game right there.
Future running back right there.
He's a big player in today's game, keeping the ball dry for these teams. First down at 10 from the 23. Dorham was nailed at the line of scrimmage. That's Rory Steinbach on the stop. 6'3" junior.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we'd also mention Steve Daly, who's the nose tackle, just quick and mobile, and he got in there, number 34. And that's 3 or 4 times he's got penetration. Providence has a great wrestling program, too. I'm wondering how many of these, there's quite a few of these guys that double up. They get on top and they can move quickly lateral. Straight up the field.
No gain on that one, 2nd and 10. Marshall the handoff, and out to the 35-yard line is Marty Quinn, making his first appearance of the game. He's been out with an ankle injury.
Certainly is, and we haven't seen Marty Quinn. He had over 500 yards rushing. You'll see him out over here as he's going to receive the ball on like a lead draw. And Quinn breaks to the outside, got the ball in the outside arm, and what a way to be welcomed back after being out, to break a nice run like that in a state championship game.
538 yards in the regular season, 10 touchdowns, and missed the last several playoff games with an ankle injury. 1st and 10 now at the 37. Marshall keeps across the 40. Fumble! And a big pile. We'll have to wait and see who got on it.
And that's just what Frank Lenti was talking about, Lee. That was the outside veer play, and Marshall fumbled the ball off the outside veer.
Then the officials indicate that Mount Carmel gets it back.
We'll see right here that mesh, and he's going with Marty Quinn, who hasn't. This is his 2nd play in a couple of weeks. Pulls the ball, and it's knocked out, and look at that ball just sitting right there. And flip a coin. That's a little bit of luck involved in the bounce of the ball.
Casasanto fell on it. Looked like Luke Lokank got his hand in there for Providence. 2nd and 3. Here's the give to Dorham. He's still on his feet at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Matt Martino's the only guy that can stop him, and he does. Drags him out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Matt Martino and Luke Lokank bring him down. Dorham, a gain of 46 yards to set up first and goal for Mount Carmel.
This is what we were talking about as we see Dorham hit inside here. And a nice job of field blocking. Nice job by number 63 for the Caravan. Paul Casasano opening up the hole, and Dorham's taken off. Nice angle by Martino to prevent the touchdown, but another breakout run, and Dorham's getting some big yardage.
First down and goal from the 9. Quinn and Dorham in the backfield. Marshall keeps it himself, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 4. Rory Steinbach had 11 tackles against Boylan in the semifinal game. He knocked Marshall out of bounds.
Nice job of executing the option to the tight end side. Faking the ball to Don Dorham inside, and you have to respect him when you fake the ball to him inside, and Marshall kept it for a nice gainer.
And Marshall, again, showing how much he adds to this team. He did not play a quarterback in the first matchup of the year against Providence. Second and goal from the 4. The give is to Quinn. Touchdown.
Flag on the play, though. I saw the linesman throw a flag, and I bet you it's a holding call. That just would be a guess. Yes, it is.
Good guess. That'll bring it back.
When that linesman throws the flag that quickly, you know, he's looking right in that area where the offensive and defensive linemen are matching up in the pit.
We have a hold on Brown. Second down.
Big penalty, Lee.
Yep.
From a touchdown to giving Providence a little more room to work defensively.
Now second and goal from just outside the 10. Instead of 27-6 Mount Carmel.
Watch Noel Bax, the tight end, on some type of play action.
They give it to Quinn again. He doesn't have any room to run this time. Gets inside the 10 and not much more.
Showed that draw action, the elite draw. That's the one Quinn broke out on this drive earlier. They also have a quarterback draw, Lee, which they have not used yet, and we might see that.
Aaron Marshall very effective on that play. We saw some of the game tapes, some of the games earlier in the year, a playoff game against St. Rita, where he is just masterful at that. Third and goal now from just inside the 10. Quinn and Brown in the backfield. Marshall pitches to Dorham. Dorham inside, slips a tackle. Touchdown, Don Dorham. What a great run by the senior. Don Dorham, the all-time leading rusher in Mount Carmel history, gives them a 27-6 lead on the 9-yard run.
Just beautifully executed as we see them go to the third element of the option, the reverse out, the fake inside to Marty Quinn. Here comes a pitch man, Dorham. Beautiful execution, but then here's the key. 1 big tackle, 2, 3 guys, 4 to 5 different defenders had a shot at him, but he wanted the end zone, and he got it.
Touchdown number 26 on the year for Don Dorham. He's now up to 172 yards. This is Piotrowski for the extra point. It's up and good. It's 28-6. Mount Carmel now with a 22-point lead.
Well, Lee, Providence has just got to respond now. That's all there is to it. There's a lot of football still to play.
This is the IHSA Football Network. Lee Hall, Jim Covert back in Memorial Stadium. Champaign-Urbana, Mount Carmel a 28-6 lead as the Caravan kicks off now. And Providence brings it out to the 35. And then brought down at the 37-yard line. Steve Strimmel with the return.
Well, this is their first opportunity, Lee. I mean, we saw Mount Carmel have that almost catastrophe there with a fumble early in that last drive, and then they went down to take it for 6. So Providence now has to get it up and running and mix their running and passing game and get that offense rolling.
Brian Doyle in motion to the far side. Now they give to Berthold, and he's brought down at the 40 after a gain of about 1.
Kyle Campbell, inside linebacker, came up on that play.
When you talk about the Don, you talk about Don Dorham. Look at his career record at Mount Carmel. Three records there for rushing yards, career points, and points this season.
It's all good. It's all good. That's really special to be able to accomplish something like that against the kind of competition he's played against.
And the 158 points is current. Pass attempt to Doyle, broken up. A couple of Mount Carmel defenders on that play. It's McGlynn. McGlynn and Orlando break it up.
They certainly did a nice job. They went to the fade. Steve Quigley tried to hit Doyle on the fade pattern. It was well played defensively. Threw it to the outside shoulder. Nice free safety help on that also. Well, third down, and this is a big play because the momentum has really gone the Caravan's way. The Celtics need to come up with some type of play, maybe hit the tight end.
3rd and 8. Providence has struggled offensively without Michael Mentz in the lineup. He went off earlier with an injury. Quigley, the pass is behind Lotank, and the Celtics will have to punt.
Looks like he was audibling. You know, he took a little longer on that one, Lee. Wanted to go to Luke Lotank over on the weak side, but threw the ball behind him, as you mentioned. And they definitely have to punt the football. Too much time yet. We're just at 8:25 in the 3rd quarter. Still have to make the Caravan earn their touchdowns with lots of yardage and first down.
This will be a big stand for the Providence defense. And the punt is away and fielded at the 32-yard line, and Matt Piotrowski knocked out of bounds, where Mount Carmel will take over at about the 35-yard line. Punt of only 28 into that win.
That way for Martin Ryder.
Tough day for Matt Gross and the other punters. Sorry?
See, there's Coach Matt Seffner going to go over, talk with the guys, keep encouraging them, tell them what they need to do. Defensively, make a few adjustments.
Quinn and Dorham in the backfield. Give us to Quinn, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage by 2 or 3 Providence tacklers.
Number 27, Britt Cleveland, in on that tackle, closed down.
That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel's going to really take their time, work the clock. Get a few first downs, eat up time, and Providence needs a turnover. They almost had one on the last series. That would have been real big.
Yeah, you talk about a game of inches, and if that had gone the other way, we might have a different game here. 7:37 left. Marshall back to throw. Has a man, Enrique Cook at the 43. Tries to slip a tackle there, but can't. Matt Gannon brings him down.
This Aaron Marshall has a nice arm. You know, he spins around and he throws that ball to Enrique Cook, who ran like a deep hitch. We'll see Cook up here, and Marshall will spin out off it. Little spin move, look off. Great protection inside, and there's that ball right at the chest. Perfect delivery by Aaron Marshall. Nice catch by Enrique Cook.
He's really had a lot of time to throw on most of the plays this afternoon. 1st and 10 now, Mount Carmel. Marshall gives to Quinn. Frank Lenti told us earlier in the week that Quinn might come back and play. He's been out with an injury, the senior, brought down by Eric Blastica.
Lightfoot shuttling plays in. They've gone to him also when they've got a core of 3 wideouts who can all run good routes. Working the clock down under 7 minutes.
6:40 remaining third quarter, 28-6. Mount Carmel leads Providence. Marshall on the option, flips it to Durham, tries to get outside, and brought down at the 45 by Ryan Jacobs. And Rory Steinbach in on the tackle as well for the Celtics.
Jacobs did a nice job of playing a very good running back on that one, didn't he?
Sure
Strung
did.
it out, one-on-one out in the open field. Don Durham. Durham has a lot of bars on that back of that helmet, probably for breaking tackles, and he's broken a lot of them.
172 yards and counting today, 2 touchdowns for the senior running back. 3rd down and 9, big play defensively for Providence. They need a stop here. Marshall will throw again, fakes, feeling the pressure, and brought down by Steve Daly with a sack. He had 8 tackles in last week's semifinal win over Rockford Boylan.
And it was interesting. It took a long time to develop. They've been getting a lot of time, but it was actually a hitch and go pattern. Little pump fake, drops, but he's flushed out of the pocket. Excellent job inside, and Aaron Marshall holds on instead of forcing an interception and throwing it up for grabs. Real nice defensive play.
4th and 12, Bob Standring to punt. He has his long punt this year, 75 yards. He's got the win behind him this time. Good pressure by Providence, but he gets it away. Fair catch called for at the 18 by Martino, and that's where Providence will take it over.
And that's what Providence Catholic liked. They needed that defensive stand there.
They did.
About a 39-yard punt, but they got the ball back, gave up no more points, and now they're back in action. Moving into the win, though, Lee.
They need to find a way to get that offense moving, and they haven't been able to do that, really. That 6 points is up there off of the first drive.
No doubt.
And they've really stalled offensively since then.
You have to give a lot of credit to that Mount Carmel defensive front 7, and their secondary's been playing the ball well, too, because Doyle and Lokank are excellent receivers.
Mount Carmel's defense allowing only 8 points a game in the playoffs. They've given up just 6 here today. Here's Quigley on the rollout. Has a man, Lokank, but throws it out of his reach at the 30.
That's the first time we've really seen Quigley run that bootleg where he has a runner-throw option, and that's the play that Mount Carmel had difficulty with early in their earlier meeting. It was well covered that time. We'll have a chance to see Lokank here. He's going to run that pattern off Quigley's bootleg action.
And that was one
inside
of your
fake. Yep, good hook block. See, he's got a runner-throw option, and it's there. It's just a matter of hooking up on it.
That was one of your keys earlier in the game, I remember. 2nd and 10, ball on the 19. Man in motion is Brian Doyle to the near side, backs in the eye. Quigley back to throw, throws it up, and there's nobody there, and somebody got their signals crossed.
Well, you usually don't see that. You saw Doyle in motion coming across the formation, Brian Doyle, but what happened was Steve Quigley went to an audible, and he obviously audible to a fade, and like you said, Lee, the timing was off there. This young man has thrown for over 1,900 yards as he's 6'1", about 188 pounds, senior. Quite a leader for Providence Catholic Celtics.
He's another guy whose dad played for Matt Sefner, and now he's playing for him. 3rd and 10, big play here. Providence unable to get the ball moving. Here comes the rush, and pass to Jim Birdholm was overthrown. Ruled incomplete, but it was pretty close.
It really was, and you could see how the heads up the Mount Carmel players were on that swing pass to Burkhold. You'll see Burkhold come out here on a swing, and it's close. And the rule basically is it has to be a forward pass by the quarterback, and that's how the officials rule. Otherwise, that's a fumble, Lee.
It's just a little too tall for him. So now Matt Gross is going to have to punt again into the wind. Low snap, one hopped him, gets it off. It's not very deep. And fair catch by Rocky Angone at the 45-yard line. Punt of only 26.
4:33 left here, and the Caravan has the wind again, which I'm sure Providence will like to have in the fourth quarter. It might make a difference for them.
Coming up next, 6A State Football Championship, Maine South against Glenbard North. That kickoff at 7 o'clock.
Coach Phil Hopkins done a great job up at Maine South, and Dale Evans, a veteran coach, both veteran coaches from Glenbard North. Should be a great matchup.
Mount Carmel from the Providence 44-yard line. They give us to Durham.
He breaks a tackle every time he carries. Every time he's hit, Lee, he seems to break a tackle, get extra yardage, and that's what you really take pride in as a running back.
Durham.
Look at the back of his helmet there. Look at all those. Couldn't circle it very well, but he's got a lot of awards. And they don't give them for scoring touchdowns. They give them for special things like breaking tackles or making a touchdown block, doing the extras.
2nd and 4. Here's the give to Quinn. He's still on his feet inside the 35-yard line. A tough season for Mount Carmel senior Marty Quinn. He's struggled with an ankle injury, which pales in comparison to losing his father earlier in the season. Frank Lenti says he's a strong young man. That was a tough week. His father died the week of the St. Rita game.
That's when it's nice to have all the friends on the team and the coaches and those important others that you can be around during tough times.
351 total yards from Mount Carmel. Those numbers reverse from the earlier game.
That's exactly right, and you know, you just don't know what's going to happen. Those numbers are going to change, though, in the next 15 minutes. We'll see how.
1st and 10, Mount Carmel. The Caravan rolling here, up 28-6 with 3:35 left. Marshall gives to Quinn, and Quinn's free. 10-5, touchdown, Marty Quinn. What a sweet, sweet moment it is for him now after the tough season we just mentioned. The tough season he's been through, a 33-yard touchdown run in a state championship game for Marty Quinn.
It's just a great thing for that young man to come back off an injury. We'll have a chance to see. He's just going to hit straight in, actually inside of the blocking scheme on the outside veer, and breaks through, and he sees the daylight, and he's not going to be denied. What a wonderful run, and he's giving thanks up there. He's probably looking up, and you know.
Yep.
You just know that. You know that.
Dad's watching. Yeah.
Exactly.
We're guessing that one's for Dad. Congratulations, Marty Quinn. His 11th touchdown of the year. Pietrowski on for the extra point. He's been perfect so far. And he's 5 for 5 today. 35-6, Mount Carmel.
This Caravan team is really could take a lot of pride in the improvement they've shown in the last few weeks. You know, when you looked at their playoff matchups, they played some good competition and really handled some of these teams, and we're seeing them really come out and put it together tonight.
Time now for some more trivia. Mount Carmel and Providence have lost 3 title games. Name the teams that beat them. If you can, join us at TV at IHSA.org. Our winner will get an IHSA cap.
Now, I wonder if they count when they beat each other.
I think they probably will.
Yeah, because I know
There's
that's
a hint.
happening. I know that's happening.
Covert's giving away hints.
Please meet your parents outside the varsity room in the southeast corner of Memorial Stadium.
Everybody's braving the elements this evening, but the execution's been really very good, I think, Lee, on both sides of the ball. They've done a lot of things considering the wind and the rain and the cold weather.
That 5th touchdown for Mount Carmel ties a team record in 5A, and there are several teams, Mount Carmel in '89 among them, who share that record. High hop. If it goes goes into the end zone, it's an automatic touchback. It does, thankfully for Matt Martino.
And I'm sure he's thankful he's on AstroTurf right now. That's usually the little benefit, that live ball on the specialties. You have a muddy fielder, that thing would have probably died on about the 1-inch line or one yard line.
It was a Sunday hop, but unfortunately for him, it's Saturday. Here's a look at what's happened here before. Here's the funny thing. In 1A, Carthage avenged an earlier loss to Conference Full Northwestern La Harpe to win a state championship, and Mount Carmel's on the verge of doing the same thing here. Stillman Valley, a winner. Harrisburg over Oregon in a really nice performance by them last night. And Joliet Catholic beat Metamora earlier today. The Redbirds, another tough loss for Pat Ryan's team, as Joliet Catholic wins their 9th state championship. And Alway's team, a 41-13 winner last night.
Big time.
You were impressed by those guys.
I really was. I tell you, I think they could have, Harrisburg could have gone out there and played with a lot of the larger school teams this year. Big line, some great players on that very special 3A team.
2nd and 9 now for Providence. Here's Quigley back to throw. Pressure and a sack for Mount Carmel. That is Niall Campbell. 15 sacks on the season. That's number 16.
He certainly did come in here and with a plug, and we'll have a chance to see as Quigley's play actioning, but Campbell coming from the inside out, and just not much of a chance for Steve Quigley to do much with that. That's the hard part of being a quarterback. You've got to take the sack once in a while.
We mentioned how good this Mount Carmel team has been in the playoffs defensively. In the last 3 title games, Frank Lente's teams have allowed only 5 points a game. Very tough when it counts.
Yeah, and they plugged their linebackers like Campbell there. I think that's his 16th sack of the year.
3rd and 17. Berthold at the 20. Brought down by Matt Piotrowski.
They brought Niall Campbell again, that time on another plug as an inside linebacker. And Campbell and Panetera, the 2 inside linebackers, have, I think, about 30-some sacks between them. 34 or 35 sacks. So a lot of times, Frank Lente, he would like to see one of those linebackers plugged to put pressure on the quarterback, especially in this kind of situation.
Check that. That was Steve Strimmel on that last carry. Matt Gross back to punt again. This is his 5th punt of the day, and again, it's into the wind. He'll be glad when the 4th quarter gets here.
No kidding, huh?
Ball takes a Providence bounce. Not enough of a bounce, though. It's going to be good field position for Mount Carmel. They'll take over at the 44 with 1:14 left in the 3rd. That was a punt of 35.
And I must say, this 3rd quarter, and I'm sure that Matt Sefner feels this way, seems to really have dragged a little bit as far as the time. It seems like it's a long 3rd quarter, 35-6, and Caravan has another chance to get good field position here late.
Don Dorham and the gang take over, 35-6 lead. Marshall keeps it. Not a lot of running room there. He's across the 40, a gain of a couple.
Take that ball to Marty Quinn again. That's the type of play he scored on. Pulled the ball and well defended there by the Celtics.
And we're now under a minute to go here in the 3rd.
You got to really take care of that football now if you're Aaron Marshall, because they're running that option, and that's just what they run. It doesn't matter what time in the game it is or what the circumstances are. They have confidence in it.
Quinn and Dorham in the backfield. And it's Dorham stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Eric Blostica in on the tackle along with Matt Ketlar. Matt Ketlar's brother Dan was an offensive tackle for Providence back in '94-95 when they won state championships.
And Dorham pounding in there, and then Aaron Marshall carrying out his fake. In fact, I watched 2 Providence defenders chase Marshall after that ball was handed off, and that's what you want your quarterback to do when they hand the ball off, is really carry out that fake. Because what happens is, when that dive back breaks away, Lee, he can go the distance.
35-6 our score. Mount Carmel leads it after 3 quarters. We'll be back after this local break. We are back at Memorial Stadium, ready to start the fourth quarter. 35-6, the Caravan on a roll, leading Providence. And there you get a look. Providence jumped out to that 6-0 lead, but then they run off 35 points in a row, Coach.
That's for sure, and ball's at midfield, and Providence needs to really make a stop and then utilize having the wind at their back.
3rd and 7, Caravan. Marshall looked like he maybe a broken play there.
No, it was a counter option.
Durham, no gain. Let's go downstairs to Lisa Prati.
I'm here with Pat Foster. She is the Dean of Students at Providence Catholic High School. And Pat, probably not the conditions you were hoping the team was going to play in today.
No, not at all. We really had high expectations for this game, and playing Carmel was always a challenge for us. But we really felt we were up to it. We've had a good playoff season, and unfortunately the weather hasn't cooperated.
No, not at all. But tell us a little bit about your position there at Providence Catholic.
I'm the Dean of Students. I work in the discipline office. I have one of the football coaches that's an assistant for me, and so I'm in touch with the football players because they're in and out regularly to visit their coach.
Oh, that's great, and I know you have an announcement actually to make that you have something that's coming up next weekend.
Right, on December 2nd, we have the entrance exam for incoming freshmen for next year, and we're really hoping for a big turnout.
That's great, Pat. Well, thank you very much. It was a try and stay dry. Just try, I know. Well, the gentlemen upstairs I know are very dry, and I am very jealous. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Lisa. Hey, I offered my goose hunting hat. I don't know what more I can do.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. It's cold up here if that makes you feel any better. Here's Quigley with the pass to Berthold. And a loose ball. Was it down?
The official's not signaling that it's down.
No, I don't think it was. I think that's a loose ball. And Mount Carmel has recovered. What an awful break for Providence.
We're going to see Berthold come out on the swing pass. Little dump off out in the flat. Nice. Oh, what a tackle. Coming underneath. I think it was one of the corners. Couldn't pick up the number on it, but great play.
Justin Carrillo recovered the... Justin Carrillo is down. Thank you. There's a look at the turnovers. They really exchanged them in the first half.
No, that's exactly right, and we certainly hope this young man's all right.
Justin Carrillo, 6'1", 215-pound senior defensive lineman for Mount Carmel.
He's getting up, and that's a good sign.
Well, good for him.
Number 66.
Able to walk off under his own power.
That's a good sign. Well, the Caravan now is going to have the football again.
Niles Peterson, the mother, or the son rather, his mom is the volleyball coach at Mother McCauley. They just won a state championship. She's out here watching. This is one of the few times she gets to watch.
That's right. I'm sure she's enjoying the ball game.
I'm sure she is.
Niles does an excellent job of pulling a lot of times on that trap option. He's quite mobile, very athletic. Sure takes after his mom. Her mom probably played Nancy, probably played a lot of volleyball in her day.
Marshall Keith got room to run. Gets a block from Lightfoot at the 20 and out of bounds at the 17. Shannon Lightfoot, number 81, with a nice block. 21 yards on the gain. Matt Martino took him out of bounds.
And we're going to have a chance to see Aaron Marshall come in here off the, we get the dive fake coming out to the left side. Some nice down blocking here. A whole wall is formed right in here. And Marshall steps up inside, and there's just a wonderful running lane for him. And he's got good speed for a young man his size. 6'2", 200-pounder senior, executing the offense the way you're supposed to.
First and 10 from the 16 now for Mount Carmel. Durham up the middle, still on his feet. Looks like a rugby match out there.
Durham, the ball carrier.
Durham down to the 5.
I mean, he's so compact and strong, and he's got such live legs. Lee, he just, there's not much to tackle. You got to grab knee pads and elbows flying around and a helmet. in a 205-pound frame. You can see why he's just such an outstanding high school football player. As Taylor Bell mentioned at halftime, you know, he gets those extra yards.
190 yards on the ground today for Donald Dorham. That surpasses what he had a year ago in the championship game, 184 yards. And a Mount Carmel player, it looks like Noel Bax. Is he having equipment problems down there?
Yeah, so he's got a certain amount of time to get it fixed.
Got to fix his hat.
Wearing number 13 has been lucky for him over his career.
You bet. You mentioned Niles Peterson. How about the job this offensive line has done for Mount Carmel? Rushing yards, 327 to 90 in favor of Mount Carmel. First and goal from the 5. Quinn brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Excellent job that time by Providence.
Matt Eggert on the stop.
Yep.
Brought down number 27, Britt Cleveland.
Britt Cleveland in on the stop as well.
Matt Eggert, too. Matt Eggert's an awful good size inside linebacker at 6'3", 224 pounds. Carmel is knocking on the door again, Lee. Mount Carmel.
It's been an impressive performance by the Caravan here tonight. And they get it back. Loss of a couple.
Marshall recovers his own fumble.
Chris Martels with the tackle.
Chris Martels.
Well, knowing Frank Lenti, doesn't matter what the score is, you know, he just wants to see the execution there. And look at this 5A record book. Most points in a title game, 40, Wheaton, Warrenville South. Coach John Thorne's had some teams down here over the years.
Looks like Mount Carmel will break that record. Marshall back to throw. Here's some pressure from Jacobson, almost picked off by Rory Steinbach in the end zone. He was the man that was open. Unfortunately for Mount Carmel, who was wearing a white jersey.
And Aaron Marshall was looking for his tight end off that fake on the play action. He wasn't there, so he went to his number 2 receiver as he rolled out of the pocket. But under coverage, Steinbach came underneath. And a lot of times quarterbacks just do not see that underneath linebacker coming out of nowhere. Almost picked. Steinbach had picked that one. He had about a 95-yard return late. I might have set a record.
Here's something we haven't seen from Matt Piotrowski this much, or very much, I should say. His second field goal attempt of the year. He's 1 for 1. This one from 23 yards. It's up and good. Just his second attempt of the year.
Nicely done. Nicely done, especially into the wind.
Into the wind, and you don't see many of the straight-on kickers anymore.
No, Lou the Toe Groza would have been proud of that one. I don't know. That might be before your time.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm dating myself.
38-6 now, the score for Mount Carmel. 9:06 left here in the ball game. This is the IHSA Football Network. .38-6, Mount Carmel rolling towards their 9th state title. And I think a lot of folks are surprised at the margin of the difference in the score, I should say. It's not a margin of victory yet. Martino picks it up. And he's brought down across the 30-yard line.
And if you're on this Providence Catholic football team, you want to just go out right now and play hard every play. And just show that integrity and that hustle that you've had all season. It's kind of it's ironic, isn't it? I mean, as many times as Providence has been here, some of these young men will be down a little bit if this doesn't go their way, but they've just had such a great season. Just such a great season.
You bet. They start at 1st and 10 at the 36. Quigley's throw off the hands of Martin Ryder, who's made a couple of catches today. Well, we were talking today. You know, it's always unfortunate that teams, you know, there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser. And the teams that get here, though, that go home with a second place trophy, what are there? There's 192 teams in the playoffs. There's probably 300 or so that don't even make the playoffs, so to give anything to be here.
That's exactly right.
2nd and 10 now for the Celtics. This is Doyle, Anthony Doyle.
Give that big guy a carry. He's a senior, a 235-pounder, and he's done a lot of blocking in his day for the Celtics, and now he gets a chance to carry that football.
Again,
Celtics need to get a first down or two. It's nice to see them put one on the board, actually, just to culminate their season.
And taking a nothing away from Mount Carmel, but Michael Mentz hasn't played since the first quarter. He's out with an injury, high ankle sprain, we understand. Here's the give now to Strimmel, a sophomore, and he's out across midfield to about the 49-yard line.
And I'm sure he wasn't expecting to play that much, Lee. And you'll see a couple of linemen pulling on this play as you'll see Strimmel carry. Both left guard and left tackle pulling, and Strimmel cuts right underneath their blocks, utilizing his pulling lineman very nicely.
Quigley back to throw, looking for Berthold out of the backfield, but it's incomplete, and now a flag, a late flag.
Might be, I'm not sure. Could be a dead ball foul. It's holding. Defensive holding. Somebody was holding him getting off the line of scrimmage. Receiver. Moves the ball in the direction the Celtics like to go.
We have a hold on Brown. First down.
It's interesting. No penalties.
Wow. Mount Carmel's been able to overcome theirs. 7:51 left in the ball game. Here's the give to Strimmel. And he's still on his feet and down inside the 25-yard line. Good run by the sophomore who has 4.6 speed in the 40.
Well, Liddickson and DC 56 and 77. And we'll see pulling over here. You'll see a big guy coming out around. And we like to give these linemen some credit. Both of guard and tackle pulling, kick out block, following them right up the hole. Nice job. Same play they ran the other way.
Dickerson finally brought him down for Mount Carmel. And now Strimmel again. He's inside the 20. Gain of about 5.
You got a 267-pounder and a 302-pounder pulling on those two plays that we just saw. Isn't that amazing? The way these young men move today.
They can get out and go. 2nd and 5. Here's Quigley under pressure and brought down. Fumble. Bob Zakar with the sack. And it's Mount Carmel ball.
Well, we talked about containing the bootleg, and that's exactly what's going to happen this time. This is a play that really hurt the Caravan last time they met. And a nice job of running down Quigley, and it almost looked like the ground caused the fumble there, but the way things have been going this evening for the Celtics, I'm not surprised that that's the way it turned out.
Kind of a microcosm of this game for them. Under 7 minutes now, 38-6. Mount Carmel is going to win their 9th state championship and tie Joliet Catholic for the all-time record.
It's nice to see John Mulcrone in there. He was the original starter for the Caravan at quarterback, getting some chance. He's only a junior, so he'll be running the show.
He'll be back next year. Matt Kerrigan with the carry that time. Frank Lenti getting some substitutes in.
Gives these young men an opportunity to play in a very special football game. State championship.
Mulcrone keeps it himself. He fumbles, and Providence pounces on it. Matt Eggert
Matt Eggert
recovers it, so
on the spot.
The Celtics will get another shot at it.
Inside linebacker went with the flow. We'll have a chance to see now. Mulcrone with the option. He's going to turn up inside, and we'll watch Eggert over here follow the football inside out. Actually, I think Steinbach caused that fumble.
Somebody got a hand in there.
Yeah, Steinbach looked like stripped it, and Eggert recovered it.
Here's Strimmel, the little sophomore. Listed at 5'11", he doesn't look quite that big. He's able to scoot when he gets some room there.
Yeah, Brian Liddickson and Sean Deasy again pulling, and that's a good play. That's off there with the old Nebraska counter where they'd really pull the guard and tackle up the hole. One kicking out, the other one turning up.
2nd and 3. Gives to Doyle. This time the big fella rumbling down to the 20-yard line. Oh, Nelly, that's Anthony Doyle.
He got a great block by Jim Berthold there, number 29, too, on that play, helping to free him up to the outside.
Rocky Yang going into the game. He's the guy who brought the big fella down. Anthony Doyle, 6'1", 235. Tough to bring him down when he gets going in the right direction. 1st and 10 now at the 20 for Providence. And it was Doyle again. Maybe a yard.
A lot of different Caravan players running on and off the field, getting a chance to get on the football field. 5A state championship, 6A game to follow. That'll be a good matchup. Glenbard North and Maine South.
Second and 9 now for Providence. Here's Doyle again. Well, the big fella's getting some yards here. He's a senior.
It's just great about high school football. I mean, if the score is 38-6, and you'd think the score was 7-6 the way he's running in there.
You bet.
Fighting for extra yards. Every play. That's the way you play the game. All out effort.
They're not looking at the scoreboard.
No,
they're just
not
looking toward the end zone right here. That's Berthold.
And you know those Caravan backup players are hungry to play. I mean, what an exciting moment for them. So the best is coming out of all of it. Look at that. It looks like another French Foreign Legion running in and out of there.
Probably a lot of Rudies down there, you know what I mean?
No
guys that haven't played and
no doubt about it.
Getting a chance to get in the ball game here.
Or next year's stars.
You bet, you bet. And that's an opportunity to get out here on the turf and whet their appetite maybe for the future.
You don't think that motivates you in the weight room in the winter and then the summer programs?
4th and 3. Doyle, look at him go. He's in the clear. Touchdown!
Nice run. He bounced it outside.
Just got across the goal line as he fell.
Real nice run.
Anthony Doyle, his 4th touchdown carry of the season.
And he really bounced it. For a big guy like that, you'll see Anthony Doyle here. He gets the ball early, and then he's going to take it right to the outside. There's his little bounce move right there. Breaks a tackle. Nice run, Anthony Doyle.
Good job of breaking a tackle there. So Providence is on the board for the first time since the opening minutes of the ball game. They're going to go for 2. Quigley rolls out, has a man, Berthold, but he couldn't hang on to it. So it's 38-12.
Bertholdt took a hit there. You know, that's one thing the coaches always tell you, get your hands up and catch it. They're going to hit you one way or the other. Might as well catch it. But a nice score for the Celtics.
Mount Carmel and Providence have lost 3 title games. Name the teams they've lost to.
Well, let's see. Wheaton North over Mount Carmel at 86. I remember that was Kent Graham, who's now in the NFL. That was a good team. Maine South, oh, that was a great kick. A field goal won that one over Mount Carmel, and then Carmel over Providence. So I did have one of those. They did beat each other one time.
You gave one away. Yeah. John Anderson of Barrington wins the hat. Congratulations,
nice job, John. Very good. Maine South, of course, Phil Hopkins' team will be in the next ball game, 6A game against Glenbard North.
And you'll be able to add, these two teams will have a combined 4 losses, of course, in the state championship game here in about 3 minutes and 18 seconds. There'll be another Mount Carmel over Providence in a final.
This will be Frank Lente's 8th state title as a head coach, and then Bill Bars back in 1980 started it off for the Caravan. Coach Bars, in fact, still coaching. He coached St. Francis this year, 3A football team. He lost to Harrisburg in the playoffs.
Providence the kick, fielded at the 25, and then quickly brought down. Number 64 is Eric Ramos, who caught that one. I have to go pretty deep into the roster to find some of these guys.
You know, we're looking at a stack of about 89 guys on one of the rosters. Isn't that amazing? 89 football players. They don't. I think they used up just about all the numbers.
Without going to 3 digits, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah. You'd have had to look pretty deep to find me. You'd have never found me.
14. Scott Johnson, another quarterback in the game now for the Caravan. Number 14, 5'10", 155-pound junior.
A lot of guys getting experience out there tonight.
Sure. He's got the hand warmer. That's the way to go. Got the chin strap on. He's got it all. Now he's ready for the play.
These guys have been standing around for 2 hours in this weather tonight, and then go out there and try and make something happen.
All of a sudden, his name's called out. Coach Lente yells, "Johnson, get in there."
The unsung heroes that help these teams with practice.
They sure do. They run the prep squad and always mirror the other team's plays. Nice run by Floyd, is that Padone?
Yes.
5'3", 131 pounds. Don't you love football?
Kyle Callahan with the tackle there, and our player of the game. I'm guessing
it might
we're gonna make it like a little mini trivia question.
What do you think it is?
Well, I think it's Don Doran.
That's what I would say.
That's just a guess. That's Greg Owens with the carry. Another Mount Carmel first down. They're just a team on a mission tonight.
Well, you know, it's been a great season for both these teams, and I just think that from what we've seen, there's your player of the game, Don Doran.
Right.
Look at that, 190 yards against really a great defense.
Our country company's player of the game. Congratulations to Don Doran and his Mount Carmel teammates. They're a minute 33 away from a state championship. And you made a great point earlier, I thought. You talked about, you know, this is the 9th title in school history, but this is the first title for this team.
That's right.
You know, and I think we kind of, as adults, we kind of lose track of that. But, you know, this is the first time this team has come down here and done this.
But you have those fresh faces on the field every year, a new group coming up. And they understand about the tradition, but tradition's one thing. Actually being down there, making your own little bit of tradition is really special for these fellows.
This copyrighted broadcast presented for the entertainment, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association is strictly prohibited. Here comes Owens again, almost brought down in the backfield and is close to first down yardage at the 48-yard line. Brought down by Mark Ryder.
Jason McLaughlin had a shot at him. Nice run by Greg Owens.
And the Mount Carmel sideline is getting fired up as the clock winds down. Actually, it stops now at 31 seconds. a timeout for Providence.
And tonight would be the kind of evening when you get the Gatorade shot. If Coach Lenti gets nailed with it, I don't think he'll feel it as much. He's probably pretty numb anyway.
There's a look at the Mount Carmel championships.
There's the new one right there.
Yep.
How important is that? And that ties with Joliet Catholic, who just in the game previous to this also had their 9th state title.
Those Catholic Metro Blue guys got to keep up with each other.
Well, they play each other. That's exactly right.
Of course, Joliet Catholic got the bragging rights. I shouldn't bring that up. The Mount Carmel folks probably tired of hearing that, but that's pretty impressive to have 2 state champs from the same league.
Well, I'll tell you what happens there, too. You get a game early in the season like that, and you find out where your strengths and weaknesses lie, and somebody's going to win or lose, but I'm sure it made Mount Carmel a better football team.
You bet, and losing to Providence earlier in the year made them a better team, too. They beat them, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
But it did make them a better team.
Well, having a close game, 21-18.
Frank Lenti told it. Yeah,
Frank Lenti's, you know, his teams actually over the years have been pretty successful in that second matchup over the years of winning that second game, and I think that's tougher to do personally.
And he admitted they got outplayed in that first game. I mean, you know, they run back a kickoff, they pick up a muff punt, and they win in overtime. And there's some of the celebrating going on the sideline.
Happy faces there.
And that does it for Mount Carmel. The Caravan rumble to their 9th state championship, 38-12. And look at the party down on the field.
That is a Caravan, all right. What a wonderful experience.
7 of the last 12 5A state titles. Mount Carmel wins it 38-12. The final over Providence. This is the IHSA Football Network. Mount Carmel is your 5A state champion. Lisa Prati is with head coach Frank Lenti.
Joining me is the winning coach for 5A, Coach Lenti. And Coach, when you talk about tonight's game, it being 38-12, the last time you played in regular season, it was a lot closer. What was the big difference in tonight's game?
Well, tonight we told the kids, actually all week, Lisa, we told the kids, we're going to take this game and we're going to prove to people how good we are. Last time we played Providence, we did not play very well. Tonight, we want to prove to the state of Illinois just how good a football team we really are. And I think the kids did a great job setting the tempo. As I told you at halftime, we wanted to take the opening kickoff, march down for a score. We were able to do that. And again, I think the whole thing revolved around all week. We hadn't played very well the first time. We hadn't done our program or Providence justice, and we wanted to show people and we wanted to prove to Providence how good a football team we really were.
Now, how does it feel to tie now the record for the state with 9 state titles?
It's just amazing. Again, it's great for the entire Carmelite order because Mount Carmel and Joliet Catholic are both Carmelite schools. This is our second three-peat, so it's just tremendous. I told the kids Friday, it could be interesting, man. 1980, 1990, and now 2000, all the years that ended with the 0, the Caravan won the state title.
Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations. I know you want to get back to your team. You had a great year, great run.
Thank you, Lisa, very much.
You're very welcome. I'll send it back upstairs to Lee.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. Congratulations to the Caravan. They win it 38-12. We will be back after this local break.
Presentation of the Class 5A first and second place individual and team
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Champaign-Urbana. Mount Carmel, a 38-12 winner to take the 5A state football championship. There you see some of the Providence players going up for their second place trophy, and congratulations to them on a great year. There are the final statistics, and the numbers heavily in favor of Mount Carmel, just as they were on the scoreboard. Look at that, 450 yards total offense. Incredible.
19 first downs, and they did an excellent job. And as Coach Lenti said, he wanted to prove that they were a good football team. And they certainly did, no doubt about it.
360 yards on the ground, led by Don Dorham's 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. Our Country Company's player of the game, Don Dorham, helping to lead the Caravan to their 9th state championship.
There's Luke Blokant getting his medal, and these guys right now aren't real happy, but when they have a chance in a couple of weeks to let it all settle out, and someday they'll look at that medal they have, that's very special.
I keep telling the Metamora kids that. I think they can finish second for the 5th time in school history today, and I keep telling them that they're going to be very proud of that someday.
I agree. But it's a normal thing, you know. I mean, it's normal to feel the way they do.
Of course, when you lift weights all summer and work out in the fall, I mean, it's like a year-round thing for these guys now. I mean, they put in a lot of time and effort.
Expectations are always high. If you're a successful team and you come into the state final, you go in to win it, and but there can only be 50% of them happy at the end of the game.
That's right. That's right.
I know Luke Lokank's father's got to be very proud of him. I actually played college football with Larry. He's an assistant coach at Providence, and you'll see him go on and probably play a little more football. And there's the Caravan waiting for their trophy.
Looks like a Caravan. Look at
a lot of smiles over there. You know, pretty drastic difference in the attitude at this stage. But 9th state title.
That's incredible. And Frank Lenti's been there for 8 of them.
All right. Bill Bars started it in 1980. And the tradition continues. Some happy members. There's Coach Lenti. I wonder where he puts all of those medals that he has. Going to run out of wall space, Frank.
The Caravan outscored their opponents 140-37 in the playoffs and 38-12 here today. They were primetime players in the postseason.
Play with a lot of heart. There were turnovers on both sides tonight, but the Caravan put it together defensively and offensively and won another state title. 1980, 1990, year 2000.
You count on them every decade, can't you?
And more.
And in between.
Don't fumble.
Oh, don't break it.
Don't fumble. Some skilled position player will dive out and catch it.
Congratulations to the Mount Carmel Caravan. 38-12, the final state championship, number 9. 6A championship coming your way at about 7 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. For Jim Covert, Lee Hall, hope you enjoyed it. 38-12, the final. So long from Memorial Stadium in Champaign-Urbana, and congratulations to the 5A football champion, Mount Carmel Caravan.